Thank you, James. I really appreciate what you said, and I've learned a lot about water from you. So thank you, my friend. I'd like to go ahead and share some thoughts about the importance of water and a statistic that's well known to some people, but not enough people. I'm the CEO of Denver Water. I've been at the job for about a year, and one of the things that even I was surprised to learn is that water usage in Colorado, if you take 100% of water usage in Colorado, only about 2% is used by Denver Water. We're a 100-year-old water utility. We serve 1.5 million people. And if you look at data from the 1970s on, even though the metropolitan area, the 1.5 million people we serve has grown and is growing, we only use about 2% of the state's water. I think that underscores the importance of efficiency and conservation and smart water development. For people who aren't part of the water world or aren't employees at Denver Water or who don't think about water every day, I would like those folks, maybe it's you, to think about how to think about water differently. And I believe the most important thing we can acknowledge about water is one, it's critical. It's a critical resource for prosperity and the survival of human beings. It's also a critical resource that sometimes leads to conflict. All you need to do is look at the headlines around the world today. You've got lots of evidence that where water resources are scarce, there's human conflict. But what's driving this now, and maybe even in a way that we have not experienced, pretty sure not in a way we've experienced in recent times, is the imperative of climate. So I'd like people to think about water not as a discrete, siloed resource that is delivered by utility or managed through rivers and water systems and infrastructure. I'd like people to think about the importance of water as a barometer for how we are managing the climate crisis on this planet. At the end of the day, our survivability, our survival as a species is important, and water is a piece of that, and climate is making it even more challenging. Given all the challenges that are in the water space, and I just mentioned climate as probably the most important one, what gives me hope? It can be a pretty bleak set of headlines that you read, and you can get pretty depressed about the future. But I'm not depressed about the future. I'm actually very hopeful. And one of the reasons I'm hopeful is I know that people are working on this issue. I know the people that I work with come to work every day trying to figure out how to protect the resource, how to use the resource efficiently, how to, again, bring prosperity to the region we serve, and do it in an environmentally sustainable way. And so climate consciousness, particularly with this next generation of leaders, I think is right at the tip of what makes me feel confident about the future and gives me hope. Now, I'd like to have someone with a different experience and a different perspective answer the questions I just did. And I think she's going to do the job with greater eloquence than I did. It's a young woman that I want to acknowledge. I met at a conference here, a water reuse conference in Denver a couple of months ago. Her name is Angela Stiegler. She's a principal scientist at Hazen and Sawyer, which is a BS in environmental science and technology. And she's just started her career. She had some time at the EPA. She's just really just started her career. And unlike me, she started it in water. And I think she's going to have a long and distinguished career in water policy. I think Angela knows a lot about water reuse. She knows a lot about environmental sustainability, and she has some very interesting thoughts about technological solutions that are nature-based for the future of water. So, Angela, I'd love to have your thoughts on the questions I tried to answer and looking forward to passing this class off to you.